Then the Quran tells us how should they address and invite people. How should they discuss in their class, in seminars, or wherever they are. The Quran tells us, invite all to the way of your Lord with wisdom and beautiful preaching, and argue with them in ways that are best and most gracious. For your Lord knows best who have strayed from his path and who receives guidance. Which means when you are guiding as an advisor, when you are teaching as a teacher, when you are demonstrating an experiment in lab, in all those situations, our attitude has to be of wisdom. Wisdom means that we create environment where students get involved and learn. They should not be passive listeners. They should not be just tape recorders who record everything the teacher has said, and when they reproduce it, teacher feels happy. No, they have to be trained as learners, and for that the instruction is that when you are calling people to Islam, udula sabila rabbika bil hikmati wal mau'izati hasana, then invite them with hikmah and mau'izah. One could make a beautiful speech and record it on his mobile or a video recorder and then play that to people, but that will be just one-way communication. Dawah means interactive, dynamic approach. Teaching means same thing, because teaching is also a dawah or an invitation to enter the world of knowledge and leave behind the world of incomplete information. Most of our problems in society arise because of incomplete information received, believed, and implemented. Quite often, half-truth is heard, and that half-truth leads to catastrophic conclusions, situations. Just a crude example, you don't have to verify information, but just someone comes and tells you that Imam Sahab of the masjid was carrying the Quran in his hand, then he just threw it on the floor, and that means he has insulted the Quran. Now you will not try to find out why the poor fellow threw the Quran. Did he throw the Quran or not? Was the person there or not who is reporting? Nothing is needed. Just call for a mob, attack the masjid, drag the imam out of masjid, beat him up, injure him, or even kill him, because you have heard that he has insulted the Quran. This is half information. That's why the Quran says, if a person brings news to you, then you should verify it, and only after verification take an action, or else you will repent after doing an act. This is Surah Al-Hujurat. Therefore, the wisdom of communication is that it has to be given in most appropriate way and in most comprehensive way. No half-truths, no wrong information. If a teacher does not know, it is highest level of ethics for him to say very clearly, sorry, I am not aware of this aspect, I'll look into it, you also look into it, and let's talk about it in our next meeting. This is the most appropriate way. Instead of giving wrong answer or half truth just to cover up for one's own ego, one's own concept of superiority, that I am teacher, I know more than students. I have found quite often students know more than their teachers, but they are put in a situation where they can express themselves, they can communicate those things. And quite often teachers always underestimate their students. One crude example again is how many of teachers in our university and elsewhere do not call students as children. Children have assembled, children are not there, children are coming. No doubt, a student is like a child for a teacher and is like a parent, but does not mean when they are adults. None of them in university is less than 18 years. Yet we call them children and address them in class and outside the class in same manner. Do we ever offer them respect as a youth, as a young scholar, as someone who is going to be perhaps a Nobel Prize winner? Can we ever think about our own behavior, how we treat students? Always treat them like children, immature, inexperienced, less informed, and we always think we are more informed, at more higher level of knowledge, because we have done PhD, and if done from overseas, then much more. This is the normal culture that must be changed. We should have a culture of knowledge and wisdom, a culture of dawah. Dawah means politeness, appropriateness, doing things as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us. So this the ayah is in the context of dawah. Then it says wajadalu millati ahsan. Jidal in the Quran means when you are in a state of argument, when you are debating. Even there, wajadalu millati hiya ahsan, the words are used in most appropriate, beautiful way. Ahsan means not just husn, but ahsan, higher level of husn, of beauty. So the way of doing things and saying things has to be based on this wisdom.